JP Morgan is banking on its employees getting vaccinated. America's largest bank is pushing its staff of 250,000 to get vaccinated before they return to the office after the 4th of July holiday. And the company is signalling that it could eventually mandate employees to get the shot. Many American workers are reassessing their careers and their futures as the coronavirus pandemic recedes. A recent survey found nearly half say they are rethinking the type of job they want moving forward. Work-life balance has been difficult. A quarter of workers say they never put personal commitments ahead of their jobs. Nearly 40% are providing care for someone else. That survey was conducted on behalf of Prudential, and Rob Falzon, the Vice Chair of Prudential, joins us now. Anything in this report, Rob, that really stood out to you?
Well, Max, yeah. So first, we've been doing this series of surveys since 2017, and this is the 13th in that series of surveys. And this was really a follow-on to something we're calling the Great Rethink, which was, the number of employees that were actually contemplating changes in their career, that this period in the pandemic has caused them to sort of take an inventory of their careers and their career opportunities. And so what jumps off the page of the report is that over half the employees, half of American workers, would move to not just a different job, but an entirely different industry or field, given the opportunity to do so, and that 1 in 4 appear to have one foot out the door, and that they've made a decision that they are going to change employers when we get to the other side of the pandemic. And it appears to us the drivers to that have a lot to do with what their experience has been during the pandemic. They're looking for some ongoing work-life balance, so flexibility with regard to that. They're very concerned about job security and skills that they haven't been able to develop while they've been remote. And so they're looking for opportunities to upskill and get into sustainable jobs. And then obviously compensation and benefits become an important component of that decision making as well.
But compensation and benefits becoming less important compared with flexibility. Is that, if you're comparing the two elements?
Yeah, when surveyed and asked what they want in their new jobs, compensation actually moves down to third in the rank of things that they identified for us. That flexibility, job security, and skilling, those move up to 1 and 2.
Did you get a sense, everyone keeps talking about how people got used to working from home and they've seen the advantages there and they don't want to go back to the office. I know I'm not speaking for everyone, but a large chunk of workers, we hear that about. I mean, what have you seen in your research that suggests that's the case? Because there are also, of course, lots of people who can't wait to get back to the office.
Yeah, so, interesting statistics that come from the series of surveys. In our most recent survey, we saw that around, it was like 87% of the workers that were surveyed had indicated that they have a desire to keep remote as some component of their work on a go-forward basis. Incidentally, our own internal surveys within our company, we had 91% of our employees who said the same thing. Now, here's what's interesting, Max. They also said that 40% of them said approximately that if they were asked to come back full-time, they would quit their jobs. And another 40% said that if they were entirely remote, they would quit their jobs. And so you have, I think the vast majority of employees are saying that, some element of remote work and the flexibility that provides in terms of that work-life balance is something that they aspire for as they come back into the workplace. And we come through the other end of the pandemic and companies begin to call their workers back into the office.
A lot of a lot of this is about caregivers, isn't it? The caregivers, they're the ones that want to be at home. The parents have, struggled to balance everything. They're worrying about going back into work. But they had those commitments prior to the pandemic, didn't they? Is your sense that they've learnt to appreciate the caregiving part of their lives more since being at home, or there's something's changed that doesn't allow them to go back?
Yeah, a couple of elements to that. First, take any statistic that we looked at that relates to, stress, a lack of skilling, contemplating or actually leaving employment, and double it for caregivers. So for vis-a-vis the general population. So caregivers have been, their experience during this has been a 2x the experience of the general population. And so I think that comes into play in terms of their emotions on a go-forward basis and how they're sort of reassessing. Now, we've all been dealing with a pandemic where infrastructure has largely been down. And so you haven't had elder care, you haven't had child care, and that's put an enormous amount of stress on those that are, have those responsibilities. Expectation is when we're going back into work, particularly if we're going back into work in some remote, sort of hybrid environment, that caregiving is going to change on a go-forward basis, and that what I think the average American worker is saying is, listen, there were some good experiences coming out of the pandemic that I learned, and remote work and the flexibility that it gives me to find a better balance between work and life, both with regard to time and space. So where I'm working and when I'm working is something I'd like to retain on a go-forward basis. So I do think there's an element of reassessment of options, that employees would put a higher priority on that than they might have pre the pandemic.
Leaves companies with a lot to think about as well, doesn't it, going forward in terms of their employee relations. Rob, thank you very much indeed for joining us from